Hey, hello, everyone.
Hi,
It's
everyone.
us. It's time for show and tell, and it's me, John Park, with my co-host Aaron. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm Erin St. Blaine. I'm excited to see everybody's projects today.
Yeah, let's bring on. We're going to bring on some Adafruit people and then some folks from the community to show off the projects that they're working on and related things, and try to keep it to a couple of minutes so we can get through everyone and still have time to jump on over to Ask an Engineer in a half hour. So first up, we have Jepler.
Good evening. So I've been working on a new feature for the CircuitPython core with the Metro M7 and speaker here and an I2S board here, the Max 98357A, and we're adding support for I2S out on CircuitPython. So let me just queue up a little demo here. We'll play some sounds. It's just randomly selecting one sound from a group of WAV files that are on the internal flash. But it's using the audio mixer, so actually we could do, say, two sounds at once. That's a little dissonant because it's just picking them randomly. But if you really want dissonant, let's go all the way to 12 sounds. So
Nice.
this is
Wow, I mean, horrible, but amazing.
In CircuitPython. So the pull request for this is open now, and I think we'll probably be able to merge it within the next week or so. Then it'll come out in a beta version somewhere down the line. And someone who is musical, and I know we got some of those people around here in the community, I hope you'll do some fun things with this, because the microcontroller works at 500 megahertz, and that means there's just a lot of horsepower to do stuff like audio mixing. So you can mix a whole bunch of samples at different audio levels using the CircuitPython audio mixer, and do other stuff like presumably Pixel or whatever.
Is that the M7 you said?
Yeah, that's the M7, that new board with the IMX RT, really powerful, although not a lot of RAM board. And this is the pre-release version, so it's green, but the store version has some lovely artwork on it. And it will support I2S out with CircuitPython very soon.
That's exciting. Oh, looking forward to having that many notes to play at once.
Did I hear you playing the Little Mermaid theme on there?
Yes, I think it may have been one of your guides that I took these samples from. There's like a whole octave of sound, and there's undersea.wave and lion.wave. So I'm not sure what all that was.
My Bottle Castle tutorial.
Yes. Well, I looked through Learn for wave samples that were all like the same frequency and good, reasonable, good quality. And yours is what I found. So thanks for that. And welcome. Have a good debut evening here on Show and Tell as a host.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jepler. Later. All right. Next up, let's bring on Anne. Hello, Anne.
Hello. Welcome, Aaron. Glad to have you. Just two things real quick. One is I respun my little floppy display project, and I had it printed up in a translucent plastic. And it turned out real nice. It's kind of frosty. Beautiful. And it takes LEDs fairly well. This diffuses LEDs. I don't have them running right now, but it's just another option if you like the floppy form factor and being able to display stuff. Beautiful. And my after hours project, I showed off trying to upgrade this IBM PS2 machine. What I've done is there is a modern card called the McIDE. So you can put IDE devices into PS2 that normally didn't have them. So I've got an 8 gigabyte SD card in there, and it's emulating 4 drives because MS-DOS only likes up to 2 gig, and it's an 8 gig card. So there's still a couple things I need to tweak that doesn't like the memory card very well. But I'm doing that. And then to get it really going, I had to replace this evil little Dallas potted clock chip where it has a battery inside, but it had died long ago. So fortunately, they make modern alternatives in this form factor that do take a coin cell battery, and there's the little clock chip and crystal on the back. So you can put the battery in, plug it in, and you have a real-time clock again. And if the battery were to go out again, it's replaceable.
It's not cast into epoxy like the old one.
Exactly. There are cheats where people use a Dremel to Dremel in and cut the battery out and put a battery on top of the chip, but it's pretty laborious. You can get these online for about $30. So it's
Neato.
worth it. So that's what I got.
Thanks, Ann.
Cool,
No
thanks.
problem.
All right. Aaron, you want to bring on our next Adafruit person?
Sure. Do we want to bring Melissa?
Sounds great.
Hey, Melissa, how you doing?
Hi, good. So I've been working on this project for a little while now. It's I basically take this bear and I've replaced the insides of it with like a Raspberry Pi and other things. And I'm going to go ahead and start up the little script here.
How may I help you?
So I have it so you can like hear you and it like respond and uses ChatGPT. So tell me a joke.
Let me think about that. Sure, here's one. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
So it's
I
a
didn't
little hard to understand, but
That's so cool.
yeah.
Let me think about that.
I don't know what it heard me say.
I love how it hides.
That is really cool. So you've created voice to text recognition to give it the prompt. Then it runs out and chat GPTs itself a joke to tell you or whatever the prompt has asked for. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
It's
interfacing with the bear, what's involved there?
It's okay. I have a little USB microphone in there, and then it uses the speech recognition package to actually translate it. And then it sends the audio over to, or the translated text over to I worked on this about 2 weeks ago. Well,
The one that, I'll just
it
ask
seems
the
to be
one.
stuck right now.
The one question is, as far as firing off motors to know that it's like in thinking mode or talking mode, how do you differentiate? How does it differentiate?
Oh, I'm just using the little motor shield for the Raspberry Pi, and
Let me think about
I
that.
just kind of figured out which motors it was, and then I just wrote the code to move the motors around.
That's great. What can I help you with regarding the motor shield and Raspberry Pi?
Oh, now it's going to tell us about the motor shield? All right. We don't have to do anything else for the rest of the night other than talk to the
Maybe
bear.
he should be hosting show and tell.
And it's completely wireless, so no batteries or anything.
That's
so
amazing.
Let me think about that.
This is endlessly entertaining.
That's great to know. How may I assist you today? Do you have any questions?
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off here.
You have to be careful what you say.
I know, because it's always listening,
Absolutely.
at least while the script is running.
That was delightful. Thanks so much, Melissa.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm never going to recover from that. Hey, how about, take a breath, let's bring Lauren on. Lauren is going to talk to us about some whippersnapper things, I believe. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm Lauren. I'm from the IO team. Longtime listener, first-time caller.
Thanks. For
Big
coming
fan.
on.
Yeah. So a couple of months ago, we launched support for addressable LEDs, which is like neopixels and dot stars. And we had a sort of basic color picker for those back then. And just this last week, I launched a new one. So I'm going to hold my Funhouse up here, and it's off right now. So it's got this nice brightness slider that I can drag up. And boom, it comes on. Quick access to a lot of colors here. So it's just really, this is more whippersnappery. Like it's just a nice, real quick. You just want to throw a color up real quick, or turn it up, turn down the brightness, or turn up the brightness. I think people may not know that they can turn it off by setting it to black, but now you just drag that all the way down and it'll go off. So that's kind of cool. And then the full color picker is still available via that dropper. So you still have full control of what you want. So yeah, just a simple update. I want to keep it simple my first time on and say hi and show off something that I thought was kind of cool.
I
And
love
of course,
it. And the color rendition looks great. And Lady Ada had mentioned to me that you had done some stuff to match color, like gamma correction between monitor and LEDs. Is that right?
So I didn't do anything, but it's yes, I understand that work has been done.
Okay,
And
it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
really
and
good.
it kind of figures out the right thing because the way things show up in real life is not the same as our the idealized world of our monitors creating pixels.
And Lauren, is this available now in release for people?
This is live now, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I will come on and start showing off some early stuff that's not out yet soon as well. This is fun.
This is really great. Love this. It makes it so easy for people to work on their projects remotely with that. Thanks for bringing that on, Lauren.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Who do we have next, Aaron?
How about we bring on Liz?
Right on.
Hey, Liz.
Hello. So tonight I've got the Robot Liar. I've been talking a bit about it for a couple weeks now. And let me know if you can hear that. Is now complete and the guide's live. So I've got a little MIDI keyboard here, and it's using a USB MIDI host program on my computer. So I can play it directly.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's running on a Feather RP2040 with CircuitPython, and then over I2C with the stemma cable is the servo motor driver, and there's 16 of them. And then I can quickly send MIDI out from my DAW to, let me just get to a good spot. So that's just playing from software.
Wow. That's
It's
great.
It's pretty snappy. That was I'd never used servos for instrument. I've only done solenoids before.
Mhm.
And it's because servos always seem a little too slow, but this I was surprised with how snappy it was. So definitely opens up for other robot instruments, hopefully.
Oh, it sounds great.
Thank you. Yeah. So guides live now if anyone dares to try to make their own.
It's a great challenge. Go do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can have a string.
My LED
quartet.
ukulele. I should have a whole robotic
Yeah.
instrument.
That would be awesome.
And the bottle castle. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Cool.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a good one.
Okay, let's see. So I believe we've got Scott from Adafruit, and then we have a few people from the community. So I'll bring Scott on.
Hello.
Hey,
If
Scott.
you didn't give me a warning, I was gonna be like, do I look like I'm reading a data sheet? I am
Try to give you
reading-
just enough warning.
I'm reading Flash data sheets. I've been working on performance on the IMX RT1011, which is the M7. It's not the only chip you can get an M7 on, but it's the one that we sell with it. And Jeff had a cool demo, but I've been working on improving performance. It's a pretty big challenge because all your code lives on SPI Flash, which is not the fastest thing in the world. It can run, you can query it up to 100 megahertz maybe, but your CPU itself is running at 500 megahertz.
500, right? Yeah.
So it's quite the gap. And so I was doing some performance work. I got the performance benchmarks that we inherited from MicroPython working. And I just wanted to show you two different runs of that performance benchmark that I just did. I'm not going to do them because they take a little while, but what we have here, this top one is performance benchmark as of 8.10 beta 0, I think it is, whatever the current beta is. And then the bottom one is the latest from the S3 builds that we have. So it's checked in, it's just not released yet. And the thing that I always look at is this score column. First, we can see that this first benchmark didn't even work in the beta, and now it does. So I freed up a bit more memory for CircuitPython and made that work. And then we can see here that the float test goes from 6,800 score to almost 2,600 or 26,000. So it's a lot. It's I don't know what, 4 or 5 times faster. The N Queens benchmark goes from 2,700 to 6,600, so about 3x. Pi digits goes from 97 or 900 to just over 2,600. So yeah, 2 to 2 to 5x speed up. And a lot of this was placing the core parts of CircuitPython's execution in what's called tightly coupled memory, which is memory that can run at the CPU speed. So when it starts up, it just copies all of that code into that tightly coupled memory, so that running the VM is kind of like as fast as possible. And then really leveraging, there's 2 caches that run at CPU speed as well. And I made sure that they're both on, even for going to the flash and to the regular RAM. So
That's
I'm pretty
exciting.
excited about that.
Yeah,
There
speed
might
on
be,
this thing.
so it'll be interesting to see. I'm currently looking at flash chip speeds, and if you don't hit a cache, or it's not in RAM, you have to go out to the flash to get it. If I can speed up how fast we can get things from the flash, then we'll like make the worst case less bad too. So I'm excited to take a glance at that and see what I can find.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to playing around with that board as they start to.
Yep. Yeah, and as Jeff said, the 1011 is not great for like having a lot of RAM, but it is really, really fast. And then there are other chips in that family, like the 1050, the 1060, which is on the Teensy 4. They have lots of RAM and they're really fast. So those are great upgrades if people want to dip their toes into this M7 land, but may want more RAM than what the current Metro has.
Great. Thanks, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thanks for hosting.
All right. Next up, we'll bring on Flavio.
Hello. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Good. I wanted to share this project because it was too much fun. I have to share it.
Oh.
So my buddy Ben, he lives near a river here in Mass, Concord River, and he wanted to check the height of the river as the water goes up and down. And what we're going to do is using an ultrasonic sensor, and the house and the river are far apart, thankfully. So even if the river is high, I don't think you'll damage his house. But because of the distance, we had an excuse for using LoRa. So I created this project. I call it LoRa Ben. And I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I can see this a little bit.
Right.
But this is Ben's house, and this is this little gizmo I built. It right now it's just on a cardboard box, so I'll show you in a minute. But it has a LoRa, as you'd expect, and a Feather RP2040 that I put to sleep. I use deep sleep when it's not doing anything. So every 10 seconds it puts itself to sleep, unless I press the reset button, which makes it wake up. But and then together with that, I have a solar little panel and a little battery and a little Dallas temperature sensor. So I can just package all that, and then every 10 minutes I just send it over, and it works really well. And then on the other side, I have just a regular Raspberry Pi with the LoRa bonnet on it, and from there I can push the data through MQTT or something else, so we can actually keep it. I've been experimenting with this project called Open MQTT Gateway. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I'm still very early stages on it, but that looks like an interesting thing that I could use instead of the Raspberry Pi on this side of the project. But so it puts itself to sleep. I know I learned that there's the sleep memory on RP2040 doesn't survive the deep sleeps, so I just get a random number when I come up. But so yeah, if you share my screen, I will show you. Yeah, so this is the project, and these are the components I have on it, and you can look at it. But then I started. This is pretty much how it started. You can see the pictures here, and then from there, I created this little board with a relay. So when I have deep sleep, I turn off everything. So even the ultrasonic sensor and everything are completely off, which saves a lot of battery. The battery lasts a long time. I think over a week, just with the basics on this thing. So, and then I'll put a reset button, and you can, if you're interested, you can jump in here and get a little more details. And then I use my little trick of using this liquid electric tape to make it like super sealed.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be close to the water, so it's good to have it sealed up. So yeah, so basically, so I have this is just a connection I have to the Raspberry Pi. So I'm just going to connect to it real quick. And then show you what happens when I press this button. This is the little box, and I'll open and show you the inside in a minute. But basically, every 10 minutes, you will wake itself up, and then it will collect the data and send. If you can see this line here, maybe I'll make it a little bigger. But oops, is that readable to you guys at all? So yeah, so basically, I have the payload, and the battery. I can read the battery. I use the voltage divider trick. Actually, I think Katni was the one who documented that, and it works beautifully. The temperature and the distance. So that is basically it. So this is it. This is the
That's
this is
great.
the sensor.
Lucky Ben.
And the insides of it, it's very there. It still have. That's what my next part of the project will be like, but it's basically to package this whole thing up in a way that it's more resistant to the outside, the outdoor. And I think that's it. Does that make sense? It's been really fun.
That's really cool. Aaron is a kind of expert on getting these things near water and underwater, so maybe some tips at some point.
Yeah, I've done a couple of tutorials. If you just look in the Learn system, there's one about LEDs in harsh environments. So take a look at that and you get some tips on how to waterproof your electronics.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Anyways,
very cool project.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
All right.
Thanks for sharing it.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. All right, Aaron, you want to bring on our next guest?
All right, we got a couple more. How about we bring on Sai? Hi, Sai.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. So last Friday was St. Patrick's Day, so I decided to build a board in the shape of a clover leaf. So it has an RP2040 microcontroller on it, and it has a Bosch BME 688 environmental sensor. So since at least since I'm not Irish, my only knowledge of St. Patrick's Day is all the the partying in Chicago. So I used the BME 688 sensor to actually classify alcohol odors. So the Bosch sensor actually comes with something called the BME AI desktop. So you can train the sensor to actually classify different types of alcohol. So I was able to distinguish bourbon from a bottle of acetone, and it was really good at it. Like once the sensor stabilizes, it can actually classify one from the other.
That's impressive.
And the idea there was you could wear this as a lapel pin and power it using a LiPo battery. I also wanted to add a camera to this board. The idea is that once it detects the one alcohol or the other, it would give haptic feedback. But the board house that I was working with didn't necessarily have the connectors for the camera. So next month I do plan to finish this project by soldering the camera connector and getting facial recognition and things like that working on this board as well.
That is something else.
As you walk in the bar, the bartender will know you're there and can make your drink out of it.
So, thank you. That's all I had.
That's really impressive.
Pretty
Thanks so much. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the next iterations of that. Bring it back.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Last up, I'll bring on Paul.
Hello.
Hi, Paul.
A little echo.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Aaron. Hi, JP. So I wanted to share an update on my remote control project that I've been building. So I'm big into music, and I've got a pair of speakers on my desk. I'll kind of tilt this up. So big speaker, about 9 inches tall. And I've got a ESP32S2 reverse TFT, and I know the quality is bad. You can't see it on the screen. But what it does is the 3 buttons change the different sources, so I can change it from CD to vinyl to radio. And there's a rotary encoder on the side as well, right on this side, where I can mute it by pressing the button or change the volume up and down. What's really exciting for me is with a little help from the Adafruit Discord this morning, I rewrote it to use async IO. I've never used async IO, so it's doing all these tasks asynchronously, so they don't block when I change the volume or change the input. They're all capturing everything.
So the oops. Sorry. I'm having technical difficulties over here. There we go. So you're doing input source switching with transistors or relays?
The Denon receivers, actually, you can have a telnet connection. So I can use CircuitPython to connect over serial or telnet and to send it the commands that are built into the receiver. So it's pretty slick that way.
That's great.
So it's all over the wireless network.
That's it. That's very cool.
Thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate you bringing that on. Looks like a really good project. Let us know if you end up writing that up anywhere.
Will do. I'll link to the GitHub repo.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, now I'm echoing all over the place. Aaron, thank you so much for co-hosting with me. That was a lot of fun, a lot of cool projects. Thanks to everyone for bringing those on. And we're going to give you a few minutes to go grab a snack before it's time for Ask an Engineer.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is always such a really fun show, and I love seeing what everybody's working on.
Bye-bye.